Weaver, civil rights leaders Roy Wilkins, Whitney Young, Clarence Mitchell, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and Vice President Humphrey. It was inevitable that I would ponder how the legal process contributed to this malaise. For in 1968, in this nation's 192nd year, things could have been different. If the legal process had been racially just, the nation in the 1960s would not have been torn asunder as it was by the unrelenting demands by blacks for dignity and equal justice under the law, pulling against the stubborn resistance of those who had been conditioned to believe in the status quo as the ultimate expression of liberty and justice for all. The institutionalized injustice of racial apartness had first brought Martin Luther King to the forefront and now, ultimately, had brought him to his death. Particularly during this bicentennial era, it is appropriate to assess the interrelationship of race and the American legal process. This nation has just celebrated its 200th birthday in a most grandiose fashion. Conventions have been held in almost every town reaffirm those self-evident truths, and the oratory will continue to 1987. The 200th anniversary of the United States Constitution. As praise is heaped on the great leaders of yesterday, and as some laud 1776 as the golden era of liberty, it is often suggested that if only today's leaders had the integrity and character of Jefferson, Franklin, John Adams, Washington, and Madison, today's racial difficulties might be quickly resolved. Few have had the temerity to contradict this general but misdirected consensus, for it is bad bicentennial form to refer to the fact that many of America's founding fathers owned slaves and that most, either directly or indirectly, profited from the evil institution that enslaved black human beings only. The bicentennial drum roll of revolutionary heroes and events, then, symbolizes one thing to white Americans but quite another to blacks. From a predominantly white perspective, the Declaration of Independence is viewed as former President Nixon described it, the greatest achievement in the history of man.